Welcome back, everyone, once again to MLE presented by APM Music. And if you ask me and you're going to pick a map to represent the final week of playoff qualification and league play in Rocket League, there is no better place to do that than beautiful Manfield Night. Here we're going to celebrate on this fine field with 2 more matches on the primary stream for MLE. And right now we're heading into the Master League in a hotly contested match between the Demo and the Comets, 2 bitter rivals who have had close matches before this season, and I have no doubt it's going to be that way again. So without further ado, let's head straight into it. And as we get into this match here, first I'm going to get things out of the way with introductions. My name is Thunderballs, and I'm joined by a wonderful co-caster whom I'm not sure if I've worked with before, Gigabyte. Welcome to the stage.
I don't believe I've ever been able to cast you before, Thunderballs, but it's great to be here. Great to be casting some Master League matchup after the past couple weeks. I had some personal stuff going on, so that's why you didn't see me on stream, ladies and gentlemen. But it's great to be back, and you said it pretty well. This is a pretty hotly contested rivalry here. The Comets and the Demolition, they are both going into this with records that not so great. The Demolition are doing okay. The Comets, I'm sure they're going to want to end their season on a high note. The Demolition, though, they're looking at a playoff spot here, so you can absolutely bet that they're going to be trying to win this one to get themselves as much momentum going into playoffs as possible. And I expect to see the Demolition come out and play that way.
No doubt about it. And they're not far off. Really, they've got, as far as how hard they've worked all season, very little work left to do to secure themselves a playoff spot. Here's where they sit, and it's a little bit complicated. Bear with me, I won't go too much into the nitty-gritty, but basically, they are very close to playoffs, and they secure it with a 1-4 loss or better. Doesn't matter what result. They get 1 win in this series, and they're in it. So that's all that they need to do, and that is all the Comets are trying to do to stop them. Now,
yes,
if they do get 5-0'd, and Flames win versus the Pandas, and anything but a Bears 4-1 on the Outlaws, then they're in trouble. So that's the nitty-gritty I was talking about. We don't need to go too deep into that, but it's pretty complex, and the playoff chances for the Demo here are very good, especially if they can grab that 1 win. They're sitting pretty.
Yeah, so I'm sure, like you said, the Demos can lock that playoff chance with the 1-4. And do you really think, though, what are the chances that the Comets are going to be able to come back and actually get a 5-0 here, especially against such a stacked team as the Demolition?
Well, if you'd asked me before I saw what roster the Demo were playing, my answer might have been different, but Golden Luigi and Miko has been such a powerful combo for them all season. As you can plainly see here, they're already getting off to it, and Golden Luigi here, the PL rankout who's playing their last season in Master League, starts us off with a bang.
Yeah, it's incredible goal here. Already 4 seconds in, we have a Demo's lead. They're definitely doing well to get into it. Williman, he's going to win that kickoff. Actually, he's going to go back to Miko. Miko, off the corner. Rolls it. Nice tip back to his teammate Luigi, and that'll be a Demo lead, 2-0.
That's 2 really quick goals and a lot of control here for the Demo. The Comets have yet to gain a foothold in this game. Demo are just owning it so far. I think they're acutely aware of the job that needs to be done here. I'm sure, as are the Comets, but the Demo are thinking to themselves, 1 win. That is all it's going to take to secure ourselves a spot here and to get into position to get into playoffs. So they're trying their best here. Oh, Miko looking for the dunk. Luigi's following up. Still pressure here. Blagden gets a half clear. That's going to get itself to half court. No farther than that, though. Blagden a little bit getting abused from behind there, and now Miko's going to pick up the slack off the ceiling. Rollerman, though, reading the bounce, and now finally the game is settling into a bit of a rhythm. The Demo stormed out to a start there, but the Comets have gathered themselves.
Yeah, the Comets are finally starting to be able to read the Demolition a little bit here. They're looking for those passes, too, but that's a heavy commit upfield, and that's going to be a goal for the Demo. Miko getting another one.
Comets just sending the house there, jumping at that ball. Rollerman ill-advised, as it was a difficult challenge to make, and Blagden tried their best to retreat back in time, but just barely not making it there to get the handle on the dribble and get that ball away. So that's 3-0 now,
yeah,
as the Demo here.
Yeah, that's a 3-0, and unfortunately, when it comes down to it, oh no, Miko, that's horrible, that's dirty, why would you do that to somebody? Anyway, the Comets, it seems like they're really kind of playing antsy here. They know they're down by 2 already, now down by 4. So they were kind of overcommitting everybody, and there they just weren't ready for such a dominating kickoff stature either. So both the Demolition players now with 2 goals. I'm sure one of them is going to get a hat trick by the end of it. But the Comets, this is, if this is how they continue to play, I don't know if they're going to be able to even get a game.
Well, we can say one thing for sure. If it continues to go on like this, we know the Demo are going to be making playoffs, because this is looking so strong from them. And they're just controlling the ball at the outset, breaking out of their zone in midfield, and on offense, they look totally comfortable at the moment. Comets aren't doing much to make them uncomfortable. They're trying their best to do that right now and just break out of their zone. But it's so suffocating here from the Demo, and the Comets, you see missed accuracy like that on that shot we just had. The touches just aren't quality enough yet to upset what the Demo have done.
And they're just not, and they're not locking up the Demo out of their zone as much as they need to be. That's a shot and a goal from Golden Luigi off the pass by Miko. Hat trick for Luigi. And this is just looking to be an absolute stomp here. A bad touch by Blogden. Now it's going to go to center and back in for Luigi. Rollerman committing on that one as well. And I think this is going to be a consistent problem that we see from the Comets here, is going to be those double commits. We see them committing up a lot harder, like really hard on offense when they really don't need to be. And then they're on defense, a double commit ends up leading to no one in goal to try and get a hold of that one. And then, like you said, the accuracy with the touches as Luigi sends one through. 6-0 now.
And you can't blame the Comets for not having a load of confidence right now, but they look so tentative, not willing to challenge, giving a ton of space for individual efforts like that. And that's a play that, if you cut it off early, it's not overly threatening, but the longer you let it develop, the closer it gets to your goal mouth. And the Comets here have just got to get a little bit of confidence going and position a little more aggressively to try and cut these plays off, because the Demo are happy to make them time and time again. Oh, here's a chance though. Blagden gets a nice dunk in the middle of the field, and that's going to start the Comets off there. It took almost half the game, but they finally get on the board.
Well, we might end up seeing a Brazil here before the game's over, but I sincerely hope the Comets can come back and give us a show out of this game at least. Blogden, nice challenge, or sorry, Rollerman, a nice block. Blogden just going to finish it off there. So good job for the Comets here. Might get a little bit of a spring in their step on the way through the rest of this game as they try and take down the 6-1 lead. Have you ever seen a 6-0 lead thrown?
In a competitive match or a league format? Never. I don't think that I could recall that ever happening. Maybe in a ranked situation. I know for one, if I did that, I would be absolutely popping off. But here's Rollerman trying the best to at least cut the lead down a little bit. I don't see it happening here necessarily, but we got half the game left to play, and this is Rocket League, so I'm not going to be the fool that says this is over entirely.
This would be the greatest comeback in MLE history, though, if we saw a comeback from a 6-0 deficit. Although the Demo, they do certainly look to be playing a little bit more cautiously. They're not trying anything fancy. They're just like, let's just get this win and get to playoffs, and then we'll play fancy for the rest of the games. That's fine. Luigi out to Miko. Miko shot, score, and we're in Rio.
That's just bread and butter stuff from Luigi and Miko there. Perfect positioning, awareness of the pass coming in, shot, power. It's all there. It's just dominating play from the Demo, and they have all but secured themselves a playoff spot with this performance in game number 1, regardless of how the rest of the series transpires. But it'd be interesting for me to see, how do the Comets treat the rest of this series? Their job was to play spoiler here and try to get to limit the Demo from getting a win at all. So once the Demo finds that, how does the rest of the series play out?
I think the Comets, they just got to play to get something under their belt for the rest of the season. Because let's face it, they're below 500. They can't get back to 500 with this match. They just got to play it to throw it all in the field. I don't know if they're going to try and play it for highlight reel clips, maybe a hashtag POTW nomination, but they just got to find something to play for, an intrinsic value in this match, because, like I said, I think the Demo are still going to take the match entirely, but I think the Comets, they just got to play for themselves at this point.
Well, they're trying their darndest here out of the corner with a minute left, trying to make something happen and develop a play. Blagden off of the side might have a pass opportunity, but that's cut off. Luigi's back the other way already. He's got boost enough for a double, and that's going to be buried. Golden Luigi with a spicy double tap to add an 8th on the board for the Demo.
Well, I was just talking about Play of the Week nominations. Ladies and gentlemen, that is definitely one of them. Clip that, put it in the Discord in the Play of the Week channel, or put it on Twitter with hashtag PODW and at MLE Esports GG. That was definitely a good one.
And Golden Luigi showing in full force why they found their way into the Premier League after having a fantastic performance throughout the season for the Demo in Master. They've shown that they really have the skill to move up into that next echelon, and at the end of the day, that's what the league is all about, just trying to move up in those tiers. And Miko making a case for themselves as well, adding 1 there to make it 9-1.
This is an insane deficit. What's the biggest blowout we've ever had in MLE in a single game? Do you know?
Couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I know that it's very convincingly in double digits. I saw score lines. I remember, I think it was from the Academy or the Champ League Flames when they won a series back in season 8 or 9, I think, and Viper set an MVPR record of having an MVPR over 10 in a single game. I think the Flames won 12 or 13-4. So that one stands out for sure. But hey, this one not far off really, because the Demo haven't allowed 4 goals. They've only allowed 1.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give that something. Your defense was just as good as your offense here. One more opportunity potentially for Golden Luigi to get a highlight goal, and he's just going to drive under it. Just Dominus problems, yo. And that'll be a Demolition win here, and an absolutely dominant win at that. And they're going to guarantee themselves a playoff position with that win as well. 9-1. You asked me earlier, and I said the Comets, they just have to play for themselves at this point. What else do you think they have to do to take down this Demolition offense?
They have to be honest, play a little recklessly. I think you got to take some chances. Beating this Demolition team is not going to come from playing ultra conservative and trying to capitalize on mistakes to build counterattacks. The mistakes are not going to come. Yeah, they're not going to come often enough to build a win on that. You have to really be the initiator, the instigator here in these plays. So the Comets have just got to get a little bit of aggressive, go for some maybe lower percentage plays, and just try to make the Demo uncomfortable.
Either way, when it comes down to it, it's aggression. Like you said, they've got to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and I get the feeling that's the only way they're going to catch the Demolition off guard. Because over the course of the season, when the Demolition have been pushed back into their zone for extended periods of time, we've seen them falter. That's where they're weak. Keep them in their zone, boost starve them as much as possible, get bumps. Heck, demo the Demolition. Why not?
Yeah, taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, exactly. Give them a taste of their own medicine and just make them sit on their goal line for as long as possible and then come up with something creative to put it through.
Well, the creativity got to start right now because they do not want to let game number 2 intro itself the way game number 1 did. This is a good start, though, with a shot on net. Miko's going to steer that away and off to the side. Golden now with a chance, another double tap attempt there. It's going to be good enough, though, to open up a chance for Miko. They lose the handle, and now it's into the mid. Rollerman trying to find Blagden with the card change as well. We saw Rollerman in the breakout in the last game. But hey, if you need to shake up in confidence, a card change sometimes can be the key to that. So Rollerman trying to mix it up here, but it's going to end in another Demo goal.
Yep. Golden Luigi passing it off to Miko. Great little 50 here, dunking it under Rollerman, who just can't get up to it. Blogden's already back. Rollerman, not a great 50 there. And that's just resulting in a Demo goal. And you know what's really impressive about these Demo goals? They're all coming almost entirely from impressive individual efforts that lead to a pass. So both these Demo players, both Golden Luigi and Miko, like you said, making cases that they can go up to Premier League. And I know we'll see Luigi up there next season. Miko, we might see him up there at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, she's been showing all season that a serious contender for that position. I remember seeing this pairing, Luigi and Miko, play all the way back in the Franchise Cup before we even opened up league play. And already then, these two were combining super well on the field. So both very deserving of the spots that they've earned so far. And I have no doubt that, I mean, this is a team, while they're only getting their playoff qualification now, as they have officially secured it. Oh, Chance, though, is going to interrupt me. And there's a nice little passing play on the Comets, and they've tied the game up.
Logged into the center. Rollerman doing a good job of just holding up there. And that's the kind of persistence that we need to see from the Comets. Rollerman just keeping that ball in front of him the entire time, not letting it get past him, and just through sheer force of will, pushes it through to center for his teammate. That's the kind of commitment we need to see from the Comets, not any of this halfway stuff, and unfortunately, we need to see defense too.
Yeah, and this is the game you play with the advice that we gave them. Blagden technically is taking our advice there, being aggressive in positioning and not giving them a lot of space to work with. but the play has to be successful, or it's a very pass-fail type of system that you run with. So we'll see if the Comets can thrive underneath that kind of environment. But the Demo are so willing to punish at every opportunity when they get that opening.
Well, Blogden chipping this one back up here. Rollerman back to center. Clear by the Demos. Breakaway opportunity. Golden Luigi trying to get it past Rollerman. Great little 50 there by Rollerman, trying to make up for his bad 50 earlier. And, you know, the Comets, we're starting to see them kind of be a bit more aggressive on defense, too, as we just saw a Demo there. Although it might not matter. Luigi, what a breakaway. Not able to get it in, but Miko was there.
Luigi just opens up enough space with that touch and the pressure that they applied. You see right there, had they not gotten a piece of that ball, it's an easy clear for Rollerman and no follow-up attempt. But they got just enough. And they're so opportunistic, this Demo team, in finding opportunities from just about anywhere. It's a scary playstyle to play against when you feel like you're never safe. The Comets never truly safe on defense or in the midfield. The Demo could threaten from just about anywhere.
And it seems like they can pass from just about anywhere, too. They're perfectly willing to go up and take that calculated risk to go up and go for a passing play when they simply can't find an opening with one person. And, oh, man, that's just unfortunate right there.
It sure is. Blagden just getting beat by a little extra mustard on that ball. Hit over top of his head, and it's going to trickle its way in. Tried desperately to get back there. So close to making that save. But it's 4-1 here, and now we are steadily headed towards a scoreline we might have seen in game number 1. It was close for a moment, but the Demo, again, proving why they're so deserving of the playoff spot they've earned.
I sincerely hope production was recording my face when they saw me. Oh, nice A carry, Luigi. Just standard things for Luigi, though. Anyway, I sincerely hope production was recording when I saw that goal there. To me, the previous one honestly didn't look like it went in. I don't know about you, if it was just on my end. Yeah, don't know what happened there.
Might have just been on your end, but hey, we'll leave that up to the annals of history. We may never know, but we do know for certain that Golden Luigi can air dribble the heck out of that ball. That was a beautiful goal right there to put it to 5-1. And at this point, with the Comets, I'm not sure, to be honest. They just look so out of sorts in every situation. More pressure being put on here by the Demo as Miko jumps up. Oh, she couldn't get the touch on that, though, as it drops down to the side and now punched into the corner. Comets getting away unscathed there, but that's rare. Sometimes you feel like when the Demo choose to go on offense, sooner or later they're going to find a goal.
You mean like this?
Yeah, I mean like that, as if on cue they managed to make a fantastic passing play out of a tricky situation.
Caster bless. It doesn't happen often, but it happens here. That was just a beautiful team play, and great job by Miko to recognize that she had to sit there and wait for Golden Luigi to get it down to her. Great job. Great team play. These two, like you said, the chemistry there on the field is incredible.
And it's 6-1 here, a very similar picture being painted to the last game after we thought the Comets might have a shot at this. It's again the Demo pressuring here. The Comets are trying to steer it back the other way with Blagden punching it into the mid. Rollerman's solo in the back end being absolutely harassed in the corner by Miko. Still gets a touch on Golden Luigi's pass, and Comets managed to break out here. Still, though, the pressure mounting, as it always is with the Demo. The Comets, they can barely get past the midfield line here without the Demo steering the ball back the other way.
The Demo are very controlled about their offense, too, which is something I like. Look, they're not going to really push up on this as two until they know they're going to have a chance. And look, they're both holding back there at the midfield. I like what they're doing. They're very strategic. They're very patient about how they run their offenses, but they're always looking for holes, and they're trying to make them, too.
Oh, they almost made one there. That would have been a nice pass off the sidewall, but Luigi's still got possession of the ball. Taking it up. Dangerous position now. Looking for the air dribble, no doubt. Maybe a double tap, maybe a dunk. Lots of options there, but nicely steered aside by Blagden. They're not in trouble yet. Miko dunking with Rollerman now following with possession. Sidewall 50 is not a 50. That's a 100-0. And another great challenge. No shooter, though, as Blagden didn't trust enough in the teammate to get that one all the way goalward. Oh, no. Rollerman's got a catch, and they do. Just keeping it out of harm's way. That was close there. The Demo almost found a full field shot.
That would have been one heck of a shot to get it past all of them. And Rollerman almost able to bring that one back the entire other way, too, but just not quite able to put it on target. So now it goes back to the side of the Comets. Golden Luigi trying to get it back to center. Miko's shot. Blagden save. Great save there, reaction time on point. Comets just trying to get one more for the road here. Miko is going to put that one back into their zone. They don't want another one to go through. They're just going to let it stay at 1. Speaking of 1, we are at 1 second. Shot! Is it in? No! Oh. We won't have the Brazil. Yeah, we won't have the Brazil in this match.
Might not be up to them. You said they don't want them to get one more, but they almost looked like they didn't have a choice in the matter. The demo tried to find that last goal, but that's going to be it. Going to be stuck at 6-1. It's hard to believe that that might be a disappointing result after the show that Demo put on in game number 1, because 6-1 is still an absolute dominating victory. But the Demo are really storming here, and it's just complete control at this point. We're waiting to see signs of life out of a Comets team that has looked totally run amok by this Demo squad. And Demo are a team that, I was going to make the point earlier, they're only getting playoff qualification now, but this is a very threatening squad for playoffs now that they're in. And the only thing that might upset that is the fact that Luigi is not a Master League player after this series has finished. The Demo have to depend on what will be their C or D player on the roster to slot in and try and find some chemistry and success for them.
And that's going to be really difficult going into playoffs, especially when we see how good these two are together, knowing that the Demolition were almost certainly, if Luigi hadn't ranked out to Premier, they were almost certainly going to rely on these two probably through the entire thing, probably through the entire bracket. And now they're not going to be able to do that. So Miko is going to have to be the stalwart leader on the Demolition squad to try and carry them through playoffs. Now, if what we're seeing here holds, you know, Miko, she has a ton of potential, and she has a ton of potential to do it. It's just that Golden Luigi, that's going to be a hard loss.
Undoubtedly. And the tough thing about that player chemistry...
Speaking of which...
Well, one of the tough things is you don't have a player who can do that seemingly on command anymore. So that's a downside. But the other thing is that doubles pairings are so dependent on role players. I think maybe even more so than threes, where threes, to compete at the highest level, you need engagement from all three players to find success. But in doubles, there are different ways you can approach things, and so Miko's going to need to find a role player that's similar to the way Golden Luigi helps their roster to be able to have that natural chemistry that they seem to have on the field. And if not, it's going to take some reconfiguring when they head into playoffs. And if you're talking about the Comets, meanwhile, on their side of things, they're not thinking about playoffs right now. They're just thinking, can we find any ground in this series where they've only found themselves a pair of goals in 2 games so far, where the Demo have scored, what, 15? Something like that?
9 and 6, so that's 15. That's a 13 goal differential already in favor of the Demolition, and we're only in game 2 here. That's insane. I don't care what level you're at. There we go. That's another one. I don't
14.
care what level you're at. I don't care what team you're playing against. That is insane. And we're just seeing a clinic put on here by the Demolition. Golden Luigi, great read there off the wall. And to reiterate on the point we were talking about before, I don't care who the captain on Demolition is, that second person to go into playoffs is entirely Miko's choice. She has to find someone she's comfortable with and has the same or similar kind of chemistry on field that she does with Golden Luigi. Otherwise, they're going to be in a much worse position than they are right now. And we've seen them be dominant all season.
And if you look at the roster and what options they have in other places, it's Script, Thrashhawk, Zyda, and Boostin. 4 players who are all around Miko's salary, actually, all within half a point. Golden Luigi was the top player on this roster, and everybody else fills in just a little underneath. You're not wrong that we're probably going to see Miko taking that A spot now that Golden Luigi has vacated it, and filling in the background. It's honestly a little tough to tell. There's good stats being put up by a lot of people, but the front runner for that might be Thrashhawk at the moment, having a good stat line. So they might be making the best case for themselves, as long as, like I mentioned, they can have the chemistry to slot in and not upset the partnership that has been so successful like we see in this game.
I mean, it does seem like Thrashhawk has the stat line to kind of play with what Miko likes to play with. They 1.93 average goals per game, assists are high, saves are not that high, but the shots are way up there with a high MVPR to go with as well. So Thrashhawk, you're right, Thrashhawk, they probably have the front line to go and play with Miko in the playoffs. But it's going to be entirely up to her, and I think she has to kind of decide over the next week, okay, who do I want to play with?
Well, the Comets have got to decide right now whether they want to get on the board here. Because you know what? They might have a decent chance here. That was an awkward bump there as Blagden kind of gets kicked away from getting a chance on net, and Demo already back the other way. Luigi getting a solid dunk there. And you know what? One of the strongest suits for Luigi has been the challenge game. I think Comets have really been lacking there. Blagden had a nice one in the middle of the field in game number 1 to find their first goal. But that's something the Comets have got to chip away at here, is getting better quality challenges so that they're not beaten outright in the middle of the field so often.
That's a dangerous double commit there for the Comets. I think that's going to get punished. Yes, it will. Miko puts one in, and that's a 3-0 lead for the Demolition here. We haven't been talking much about this game because it seems like the more we see from the Demolition, the more it seems like, an already predetermined outcome that they're going to take the Comets 5-0. But, I certainly hope we can see the Comets at least come back and get a game, or at least make a game convincing.
And I think certainly you're hoping on the behalf of the spectators, the chat, everybody out there, the fans of the Comets franchise as well. And as the Demo add another one here and add insult to injury, just waiting for the Comets to break through a little bit here and find a little bit of momentum in a series that has seriously not gone their way so far. So Rollerman and Blagden, now's the time. You really got to generate a little bit of offense here and try to get the ball rolling because the series is far from over. They've got some time left to make a case for themselves. That's a decent shot on net. Almost Rollerman. Oh, and the cutback slow on net. Almost getting them with the change up there was Blagden, but not quite. Love to see the creativity, though, from this team.
The recovery from Golden Luigi, though. Can we just talk about that? That was crazy reaction time and great car control to be able to flip back over and get that save there. Any other player would have probably put that in, and speaking of putting that in, Golden Luigi does there all the time, of course. But you know what? I want to see some hype from the chat here. I want to see some hype, and let's root for the Comets to get one here. I want to see the Comets take a game.
I'm sure as we all would, as just spectators and fans of the game in general. You love to see it be competitive, and it's a much more compelling storyline when it is so. So let's see what the Comets can do here. They're in trouble once again, though, as Golden Luigi is going to find yet another.
Man.
And it's just deflated, I would say, is how I would describe the Comets at this point. Certainly cannot blame them for that. They, in the final week of their matches, are being put up against someone who is now a Premier League player, playing their final week of competition and putting on an absolute show. So that is not an easy spot to be in for the Comets.
Yeah, it's just got to be demoralizing, especially when Miko can pull balls out of the goal for that. What an incredible touch there, and can't quite get a hold of that one, though. Blagden is going to get that shot. So now, oh no, the Comets have scored 3 goals.
Ooh, nice little cheeky bounce. That's what was the difference maker there. It was just a little bit of an extra angle. Rather than going straight out or straight up, it came off at an angle and bamboozled Miko on the back line. And that's one. They have found at least a goal in every game that we've seen so far. Unfortunately, not more than that until now. Blagden's going to flip the script and add a second one here for the Comets with 30 left to go.
Yeah, the Comets, they're looking to have some life here a little bit. They're being aggressive. They just kind of need to keep this up, and they might have a chance against the Demolition, but it's too little too late this game, obviously. But I want to see that more from them in Game 4. Fake kickoff there, getting cheeky with Miko and Golden Luigi. What a redirect!
Well,
Luigi, my guy.
That's just plain ridiculous, to be honest. Golden Luigi, so tight to the wall there, and finds the angle perfectly to drop that down and make it 7-2. If you ever wanted to see bullet points on a resume for why Golden Luigi has applied for the job of a Premier League player, this is it. Time and time again, they're just showing why they belong in that upper echelon, and Miko, just seemingly the perfect partner to that. Blagden and Rollerman have been trying so desperately to upset the rhythm that these two players have, but they seem to be able to march to about 10 different rhythms at any given time.
Yeah, they're just basically able to do whatever the heck they want to do, no matter what it is, and they're always finding a way to get through the Comets' defense. touch off the backboards. I think Miko's going to try and go for one more here. Rollerman trying to keep it in the air to follow the original Rule 1, but it's not going to happen. The Demolition are going to take Game 3 and the series officially now. But there's not really too much you can do against this Demolition team if you're the Comets. You know, you have Golden Luigi, who's probably the best player in Master League right now, hence why he's moving up to Premier League, and Miko, probably the best assistive player in Master League right now. So if you're the Comets, there's nothing you can do.
Not a whole lot. I mean, every once in a while this happens. Even in a league that's built upon competitiveness and limited salary ranges to keep the competition as close as possible. This is a combination of two players that have great chemistry, one of them moving up to the league above, and I think on top of that, both of them feeling it on the field in this particular instance. It's like the perfect storm of the demo, just having a good day. It's not necessarily that if you played this match 5 times, we'd see the dominating sweep we're seeing every single time, but certainly we're seeing it tonight, and it's just that perfect mixture of things that's led to that for the demo.
And it can't be iterated enough. The Comets, you know, they didn't have a great season. I'm sure they're thinking about coming into this, but you'd think that they'd be able to put up at least a bit better of a fight against these two here, because quite frankly, the demo were just outclassing the Comets on all fronts. Offense, defense, midfield. It just seems like if the demo will it, it will happen. And you'd think that the Comets would be able to come into this and put up some sort of a fight at least.
You'd think so, but we haven't seen it as of yet. We have seen flashes of brilliance, great passing plays, good challenges, a couple individual efforts from the Comets. They haven't been absent entirely, but they've just been stifled by a demo team that continues to do stuff like that.
I mean, there's just nothing more to be said here. That's just a fantastic dribble through the air. Unfortunately, bad touch by Blagden is not going to get that out in time. Miko is going to be the one to send that into the top right corner. And I mean, what can you say? It's everything that needs to be said has been said.
Well, the demo are trying their best to make us come up with some creative new ways to describe them winning, because they are continuing to do it. Blagden, though, finally steering one goalward and might give us a little bit of a different storyline here. Putting a shot on net, the miss coming through. And hey, there we go. Comets have tied the game here early in game number 4.
Blagden, nice little drop down there. Good angle. Seeing signs of life out of the Comets. I'd like to see them take this game. If they can keep being aggressive like that, then they'll be in a good spot. But I just feel like, oh, Blagden, nice little 50 there.
Oh,
what a bump to secure it too. And the Comets' first lead of the series.
Big time challenge there. Oh my goodness, it's really tough to tell whether Golden Luigi even had a chance at that ball. But the bump certainly didn't make their life any easier, and it made it really tricky for them to find a consistent touch there. Blagden.
That's unfortunate.
Well, that's going to mute the whole point that we were trying to make there. This is, what, 3 kickoff goals in a row here, you could probably say?
Yep. I'm just going to put on my Zuka face and say that's rough, buddy. I mean,
Certainly is.
That's like half of these goals.
And normally that's just the demo that have been doing that so far, but now they're sharing in equal amounts here. Oh, Golden Luigi trying to go underneath and then over top with the musty, but not quite finding it there. He's still going to kick it into the corner and follow it up. That kicks a little bit high, and now there's an opening here. Miko with the follow-up. No room for error on that one, or very little, and they're going to make it 3-2 to take the lead.
Yeah, roll him in. Just a bad miss here in the Batmobile. How do you miss that in the Batmobile?
Not sure. I swear I don't even know how you jump in the Batmobile with it facing vertically, because you hit the ceiling just 2 seconds after you leave the ground. But yeah, they managed to miss the ball there, and Rollerman running the gamut on the car choices in this match. They've played just about every car I can imagine them doing that has been even remotely close to the meta in the last 3 years of Rocket League. So props for the creativity there.
For your last game, don't you just have to play the battle bus? I mean, isn't that just a have to?
Not necessarily a have to, but a should to, possibly. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it, to be honest. The favorite thing about the battle bus is that when you're in the air with that, the dance beats start bumping inside the bus, so it might add a little excitement to the series with some nice music coming out of that one. But hey, Comets are in this game. They are playing this tight.
They are.
And they're staying competitive on this. And Demo are showing, as they have just in a few moments in the past, some signs of weakness in the Comets here, trying to chip their way through. This is a problem, though. The Demo have got some space here to work with. Miko's in the corner trying to find probably a pass out to Golden, but sitting actually pretty conservatively. You get the sense that the Demo, they don't want to drop this game. Rollerman putting a nice shot on net there. Follow-up already coming from Blagden, who's trying to chip to the mid. But the Demo staying composed. They're playing now really conservatively because this is the first time that they've really been threatened. But as I say that, Golden Luigi just lets that one drop underneath for number 4.
He's like, thanks, Miko. I got this one. Just sends it through. Nothing you can do about that if you're Rollerman. You're getting up way too late to try and get a touch on that one. And you know that the Demo don't want to lose this game because the only hope they have of winning their division is by completely sweeping the Comets out of town here, and then hoping somehow that the Spectre end up losing 5-0 to the Wizards, and that's not really something I expect to happen, but outside chance, I guess.
Well, you got to get the math in your favor when you can. So a 5-0 would certainly do that here for the Demo, even though it would be an outside chance. And Miko on cue is going to add another one here to make it 5-2 for the Demo and continue their campaign towards the sweep.
Let's see a Barca. Let's go, Demo. But it's just the chemistry between these two players. We've harped on it so many times already. It's just truly impressive, honestly.
It is. And Blagden and Rollerman have been improving in this series with each passing game, I would almost say. And if not that, then at the very least, they're playing far better than they did at the beginning of the series. And they're doing their best here to make the Demo a little bit uncomfortable. We saw the Demo's rhythm shift just a bit as they wanted to not drop a game in this series and give themselves the sweep. So the Comets are doing something right here. They just got to do more of it.
So Blogden trying to push this one through, gonna get it loose. Luigi tries to take a shot. It's gonna go off the wall. Handled by Rollerman. Gonna back out to Luigi. Tried to go for the redirect, didn't happen. Blogden going for the clear, gonna get over to Rollerman. Nice 50 with Miko, but it is gonna be won by Miko. Now Golden Luigi, this is dangerous for Blogden. Wrong touch could lose him the goal. Almost did there. Golden Luigi's actually gonna back off, not go for that rebound. I mean, what more can you say here, to be honest?
I could say that this is the longest unbroken stretch of play I think we've had in the whole series, which is just something positive in general for the series itself. We've been burning out our voices doing descriptions of goals happening, and so it was nice to get a break, but obviously I'm going to Caster's Curse that and give ourselves more work off the shot from Golden Luigi.
Yep. I feel as though every goal by Golden Luigi should be hashtag POTW, and quite frankly, it just seems like almost all of it is. I just haven't really wanted to say it too many times, but there have been probably, 5 or 6 goals alone that would have been nominees in any other week.
Well, if you want to simplify that, you could just say that the P stands for Player of the Week. Not play, player. It's hashtag POTW, Player of the Week for Golden Luigi here. What a show that they have put on in what has been their graduation match to Premier League. And hey, Premier League players, watch out, because they're not just going to be able to compete at this level. They're making a case that they'll be able to do it when they move up as well.
Don't just graduate in style. And do you think he's using a Power 8 controller?
Well, he's got some major power in this series, so I wouldn't doubt it. But speaking of Power 8 controllers, don't we have a few of those that we're dishing out this weekend? I thought I heard something from Little Birdie about that.
Yes, we do indeed. We're actually doing a raffle right now. You've probably seen the Streamlabs bot a couple times in the chat and give you some more information, but we're giving out a Spectre Enhanced Wired Controller for the Xbox One, and you can use !raffle and then whatever number to raffle your points for a giveaway. I believe it's 20 points per ticket, or is it just the first ticket costs 20 and then everyone after that is one ticket? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Racking my brain. I can't remember the details on that, but all I do know is that that is a very nice controller with a fantastic partner that we've had with MLE, and Hopefully someone gets on top of that raffle for themselves off of this little shout out. But hey, the game is 0 seconds. They're keeping it up for the Rule 1 at this point, trying to do their best impression
Is that another one? Oh, Barca!
Oh my goodness. There it is.
Barcelona!
That's like all the memes in one single play. They get the Barca, they get the Rule 1, keep it up at the end of the game. It's perfect. So that's fantastic from the demo, and that's a statement here to end game number 4. They've got one left to play, and the Comets have got one chance left to completely spoil the demo's chances, very narrow chances of getting the division lead. They've got to do it here.
I mean, 0.01% is still a chance, right? But
it is.
It's just there's not much else to be said about the demo's performance here. It is just dominant. I mean, anything else I said would be repeating myself. But if you're the Comets, how do you move on past this? Or do you just kind of say, it was a bad season, let's move on to next one?
I think bad season would be extending a little bit too far into self-deprecation. You have to take whatever positives you can from the campaign that you had. They're not heading into playoffs, and they've got a lot of time to reflect and decide how they want to rebuild their roster going into the next season. But you know what? I know one thing for certain, and it's that they want to end their season on a positive note. And they can be thankful they still have a chance to do that here by giving us a show in the final game and maybe stealing one here from the demo.
Yeah, I mean, they were actually competitive in the early part of that game. Like we said, they got aggressive, but then as soon as they got behind, that's where they kind of turned back around. They started getting really passive, and you give the demo time, they're gonna school you all the way across the field. And unfortunately, the Comets, it just seems like every time they get behind, they kind of get that behind mindset, and from there it just rolls downhill. So I want to see the Comets get out to the lead early here, maybe jump out with the first goal, unless Golden Luigi just pops off here, which, you know what, sure, it's going to happen. Demo, close! Almost on the musty flick off the ceiling, but Rollerman able to get a good save there. Both Rollerman and Blogden committing on that one.
I mean, send the house. If it gets the job done on a tough individual effort like that, then hey, maybe do it. Oh, Blagden almost finding one there on the near post as the Comets are trying to come back the other way. That's an interrupt in the middle of the field. Rollerman bearing down, gets a decent challenge in the mid. Already kicked aside, though. Miko's going to send that one downfield. Blagden's in the corner with a bit of space. Opts for an air dribble attempt that goes awry, and now Rollerman sending it downfield. Blagden trying to follow up. Decent one off the ceiling. Rollerman might be able to get this goalward, but it's a little bit shallow on the angle. That's a decent touch into the mid. Rollerman trying to get on the dunk. And the Comets, nice stretch of play here where they've been getting creative and trying to find a way through this demo defense.
It's the Comets, they're playing aggressive. They're taking these 50s when they need to. Although that was not a great touch. Blogden going to go for this 50 as well. Miko didn't put it on target. She'll chase it. Rollerman in the backfield, trying to get it out. Golden Luigi's shot. That's off the corner. Miko roundup. Not able to get there in time. It's going to go off the crossbar down. The Comets get away with one there, and we still play at at 0-0. I think this is the longest 0-0 we've had in this series, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And this is continuing to be a super tight game between these teams. Demo had the closest chance out of anybody with that ring off of the crossbar. Miko was so close to opening up the scoring, but couldn't quite find it. And now still the Comets are trying to put on a little bit of pressure here to keep the demo uncomfortable. Blagden with a fantastic dunk. Oh, looking for an extra one there. That would have been the double dunk tap. I don't even know what you would call that, but that would have been a sweet play there from Blagden. And it's nice to see them inject some confidence into their game and go for a few of these plays we might not have seen them attempt before.
Although that's a long ball, they could have done something with it. What did they just let it go? Golden Luigi off the backboard. Rollerman forced to come up and get that one away before Miko came in and shot that one to the back of the net. Rollerman gonna carry it up the wall. Golden Luigi's there to challenge. Rollerman gets it past him. Nice juke off the wall. Is Blagden gonna be there before Luigi can be? Yes, nice touch. Ooh. And that's a goal. Blagden gonna lead off the scoring. The Comets have their second lead of the series just before halftime.
Absolutely beautiful there from Blagden. Golden Luigi really took for granted the amount of time that they had to make that retreating defensive play. They just assumed Blagden wasn't going to get there in time no matter what. And that was a dangerous assumption because Blagden made the sweet negative angle redirect to find themselves the lead here. And the confidence continuing. Oh, trouble though. That's sent wide by Golden Luigi. And the shooting accuracy for the first time all series is a little bit errant for the Demo, and that's all that's been separating them from being at least tied or ahead here. Look at it again, and finally they managed to put one between the posts. So many shot attempts that went off the woodwork.
Tell me, do you think the Demo are just kind of memeing here and just kind of letting the Comets get like one up, and then they're like, all right, you've had your fun, time to just put you into the ground now?
Not at all. I genuinely think the Comets have been putting on a pretty solid showing here. They did. If I know you remember last game, they made it very competitive at the beginning too. So they're chipping away at deciding what's the strategy here against this Demo team to find our way through, and they're finding it better and better each time. Here we go with another opportunity, but oh, the execution going to be off there, and Rolleman is in a world of hurt now, maybe alleviated there by a weak touch. Still the Demo attempt to get that on net. Miko again counts as a shot. The Demo are going to have a ton of shots in this game that are not going to be reflected in the save counts that are coming through from the Comets.
Dropping down in front of the Demo net, logged in, going to go for the 50. It's going to be won by him, but Miko will be there to collect it instead. Driving it upfield, sent back out to Luigi, off the backboard, logged in goes up and chips it away. That was almost a certain goal for Luigi, knowing how good he is on those backboard touches, but he didn't get cleared up by Rolleman instead. The Comets, they're definitely looking better this game. You gotta come out and win this game and then have something to hang your hat on for the rest of the season, you know? I mean, you can still play spoiler here and just say, nah, Demo, here's your 0% chance of getting the division off the backboard. The Demo, however, are still trying to get a little bit there.
Oh, they're getting close here. Rolleman's got the chance for a redirect. Oh, opted for the bump instead on Miko and didn't find it. But the pressure stays here. Rolleman playing the spin cycle and sending it into the mid. Luigi's going to be first to this on the wall, opting for the slow play. Waiting. High shot, left side. That's steered away. Rolleman getting that one out of trouble and along the side wall. Still trying for more here. Miko just getting caught up in a demolition derby in the middle of the field. The Comets bumping one another. The Demo are going to head down here. We may be headed for a pretty unlikely overtime if you watched how the rest of this series went down, but 20 seconds left. A chance here for the Comets, and now Rolleman is in a big amount of trouble. That was a nice cutoff there to stop the Demo from charging.
Barely was able to get there. Miko now just trying to stall in the midfield, waiting until Luigi can come up and take this touch. Now on their own backboard. This could get dangerous actually very quickly for the Demo, and it is. Miko gonna get the clear. Comets almost able to send that one home before overtime, but instead we will have an overtime, and who would have seen this coming with the first part of this series?
Not that many. The odds weren't too good that we would see such a close game. Oh my goodness,
no,
what a shot!
Rolleman!
They got one. The Comets do it in the final moments. They open up overtime with a bang as Rolleman sends one hard in on the center of the net, and Miko can't get the save. The Comets do it at the very end. They spoil any chance the Demo have at a division lead. And like you said, that is a game to hang your hat on at the end of the season, beating such a strong pairing from the Demo.
Absolutely. And the Demolition, at the same time, they showed exactly why they are a team to be feared in the playoffs. Honestly, I've seen the Spectre play this season too, and I really honestly think that the Demolition might be able to beat the Spectre. It would be a close match. It will go down to the last game. But I think the Demolition might be able to beat the Spectre. And I certainly hope they can beat all of their opponents from their conference as well. The Rhinos are a team to be feared as well. The Shadow are definitely up there as well. And the Elite Tyrants, they're all in that running to be, very dominant teams in the playoffs. And I want to see what the Demo are able to do moving forward.
Well, we're not going to have to wait very long. This is an exciting time to be watching MLE because we're heading into the postseason after today and tomorrow's matches. And I'm pumped about that. I'm sure everybody is, because it's been a wild season with a lot of competitive races for those final qualification spots. And we're not done with it yet, because we've got another in what will end up being a doubleheader. The schedule had a bit of a shuffle tonight. So it was Demo Comets for this one, and it's going to be for the next one as well.
Yes, it will be. I believe we actually have, is it Premier League Dembo Comets coming up on the next one? Yeah.
Champ League.
Champ League. Okay. So Champ League, Comets, Demolition coming at you folks in just a minute. Stay tuned. And this is just looking to be